KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all.
That's right. It's KP's Video News, y'all. Yep. You know how I do it. Yeah. Coming to you today, man. I had to, I wasn't planning on doing the show. However, this article came up. And not only that, I want to give a shout out to, one of my guys that I went to school with, man, from back in the day, uh, Ken Smith, man. Ken Smith, Apostle Ken Smith over at Liberty Bolingbrook Life Mission, and telling you, man, he's good. He's putting that word out there, man. The word of God out there with seriously putting the word of God out, man. I've been following his Bible studies and trying to catch his services on Sundays, man, on YouTube. That's Liberty Bolingbrook. Liberty Bolingbrook Life and Mission. And yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, he's good. He's definitely blessed. And so the name of it is Liberty Temple Full Gospel Church. Liberty Temple Full Gospel Church in Bolingbrook, Illinois. So anybody I know that's in Chicago, in the suburbs out there, head over to Bolingbrook, man, and check them out. Liberty Temple Full Gospel Church in Bolingbrook, Illinois. Apostle Ken Smith preaching the word. But anyway, back to my stories here. What I was saying is that it was a story of a young lady that was killed, Tatiana Jefferson. Tatiana Jefferson, you remember her. She was the lady that got shot and killed down there. Was that Kentucky? Tennessee? Was that Tennessee? Where her boyfriend, the cops was looking for a boyfriend, and they came in and shot the whole house up, and she ended up dead. Anyway, this is a follow-up for that story, and this is the breaking what's going on right now with this particular incident. You had a hostile judge that was removed from the Tatiana Jefferson police shooting case, and the judge set to reside over former, this is in Fort Worth. There's a Fort Worth police officer, Aaron Dean, who shot and killed Tatiana Jefferson in 2019, has been removed from the case. The defense attorneys claim Judge David Hagerman treated their team with anger and hostility, and a former state appellate court justice had granted the defense's motion for recusal Tuesday. And the report says Hagerman presided over more than 2 years worth of proceedings in connection to Dean's indictment. The issue arose when the defense tried to schedule a trial date with the judge. The trial was already been delayed times before this, but during June's hearing, the attorney said they experienced hostility and bias from the judge. The delays caused not only the attorneys, but also Jefferson's family to grow frustrated. That confidence that this would eventually result in some modicum of justice is beginning to dissipate. We know that the justice delayed is justice denied, said Lee Merritt, the family attorney in the civil suit related to Jefferson's death. And so legal experts say recusing a judge is pretty rare, but it's not too surprising given the high-profile nature of the case. So if there's that assertion and there's evidence and support behind it, there's a real possibility would exist that you err on the side of caution, ensure the due process is afforded the defendant, and recuse the judge in this case is a type of case, said Eric Cadillo, and so it's one of which this could be be a little process in terms of what happens next. And of course, the actual trial itself is going to be put off for some time because of it. So the former Officer Dean is facing a murder charge for the shooting and killing of Tatiana Jefferson. Dean responded to her home after a neighbor called concerned about Jefferson's door being slightly open. You remember that case now? She was at home with her son. She was babysitting her nephew, as a matter of fact. Jefferson was babysitting her nephew when she heard Dean coming into the backyard, and she grabbed her gun for protection, and Dean shot Jefferson within seconds of seeing her in the window. Shot through the window. And it's currently unclear when a new judge will be assigned to the case. And but it's clear that Jefferson should still be alive and that Dean is responsible for why she's not here today, according to her family. And wow, unfortunately, the process to assign a new judge will also mean another delay for Dean's trial. So, wow, yeah, that was that situation when the lady was at home, and she was at home, and then somebody called the cops and said, "Hey, this lady's door is open." And the cop got over there, and he never said anything about he was a cop or anything. You just can't go walking up and trying to go up in somebody's house, man, without without saying who you are, or not acknowledging who you are. I mean, it would be the same thing if they came to your house. You would be sitting there like, "Wow, man, who are you?" If they don't recognize or acknowledge who they are, how are you supposed to know who they are? So you would think that that person was trying to do a home invasion or something. So then you have the right to defend yourself. Anyway, on to the next story. We have a former Berkeley Township police officer has filed a suit claiming officials forced him to resign after less than a month on the job rather than pay his workers' compensation benefits when he was injured. Ravino Johnson states in court papers that he was hired April 15th, 2021, and sustained a work-related injury on May 5th, 2021, that temporarily limited his physical capabilities. At the time of his hire, Johnson was the first black police officer hired in Berkeley Township in 45 years, and his township's only black employee. And the lawsuit alleges that Township Administrator John Camara and high-level supervisor in Berkeley Township violated state civil rights laws prohibiting discrimination based on race and through failure to accommodate his doctor's decision to place him on a leave of absence. The suit states township officials were required under New Jersey's anti-discrimination laws to accommodate his disability and provide him with a temporary leave of absence that had been approved by Johnson's physician. But township officials did neither and allegedly told Johnson he should resign and reapply for the police officer position at a later date, states the lawsuit. And so, the township will be immediately filing its answer denying any inflammatory and unsupported allegations made by Mr. Johnson. And the suit alleges Camara told Johnson he did not want to pay the plaintiff workers' compensation benefits. He will only be considered for the position of police officer in the future if he resigns. Camara allegedly told Johnson that if he didn't resign, he would be terminated. Ravino says in the suit that Camara then asked him to sign a letter of resignation. Dear Berkeley Township, I am not interested in the position of police officer at this time, but I wish to be considered at another time, the letter stated. And the lawsuit states Johnson signed the letter out of fear he would be retaliated against. After handing over the signed letter, Johnson demanded a copy and called a lawyer, the suit states. Johnson is seeking reinstatement to his job, monetary damage, along with attorney fees and costs to file the lawsuit. So I'm going to follow up on that one to see what happens in that case. Yep, got to follow up on some of these stories, Got to follow up on some of these stories, man. Yep. Wow, this is a tragic story right here. And They had a New York City woman who was shot in the head while pushing a 3-year-old baby in a stroller has been identified as Asia Johnson. On Wednesday night, the 20-year-old was pushing the stroller in the Upper East Side of Manhattan when somebody approached her and shot her. She was rushed to Metro Hospital where she was pronounced dead, and her baby was not harmed. Johnson's mother, Lisa Desort, stated that her daughter had graduated high school with merits and with the inspiration of becoming a pediatric nurse, and hoped to provide a great life for her baby and her toddler son. She had a child early, and she was the most wonderful mother you can imagine. She was hardworking. She worked hard every day. She's got more credit than better credit than a 30, 40-year-old person has. She aspired to have houses and give her children the best of everything. She shared that Desort refused to have her little ones wear hand-me-downs and believed they were new babies and they deserved new clothes. And she said her daughter was amazing. Desort said that her daughter was a victim of domestic violence and had been assaulted while 6 months pregnant. New York NYPD officials also confirmed the reports of domestic violence involving Johnson with the outlet, and two officials stating that a report was filed this past January. The city failed my daughter in January. On January 1st, my daughter called me and she was being abused while she was 6 months pregnant, Desort stated. And she was scared to call the police, so she gave me the address and her mother called the police. And after the police responded, that Johnson came to live with her. He said she tried to protect her daughter in every way, and she had to leave my house. She couldn't live there because he knew where I lived. And I kept telling her he's no good. In one of her final text messages, Johnson told a family member that she was meeting with her 3-month-old father to work things out. I knew it was going to come to this, and I told her daughter, don't do it. For some reason, she felt like she needed to be tracked, so she texted her sister and said, this is my location just in case. And the text message confirmed to the investigators' belief that the incident was not random. And New York City Mayor Eric Adams stated that we strongly believe it was not a random shooting, and we will catch this person that's responsible. One of Johnson's neighbors and friends, Ebony Pauling, stated that she never wanted a confrontation and wanted to raise her kids and just grow. She was quiet, never had a problem with anybody, and she was a good person, and she didn't deserve that. And some people are out there, like like wow, the NYPD has not named the baby's father. However, it's considered domestic violence as a motive. Wow, man, beautiful young girl, man. 2 little babies, man. Their mother's gone. Just one, just a few months old, 3 months old, man. Wow, crazy dude, man. Crazy cat, man. It's like you don't have to go through all that madness, man. If you got problems and you're dealing with whatever situation you're dealing with, it's millions of other people out there. It's millions of other women out there. And if you want to be a father to your kids, be a father to your kids, but don't try to take a person's life because your relationship is not doing any good. That's foolishness, man. It's really madness. That's what it is. It's total madness, man. And I don't get it. I don't understand it. And these people had some kind of, faith, and some kind of, guidance in their life. Maybe they might be able to look at things a little bit different, man. So, you got what you have to do is, you see these young people going down a certain path. You really, really got to educate them and let them know that everybody you meet, first of all, is not your friend. Every person that you get in a relationship doesn't actually 100% love you. In a perfect world, that would be true. But you really have to keep your eyes open, and you got to, take your time. There's no need in rushing into a relationship, not knowing the person that you that you're dealing with just because you have some type of feelings of lust or whatever. And that's usually that's all it is a lust relationship. It's not love. It don't have nothing to do with love. But man, wow. My condolences to the family. You lost a beautiful young daughter. These two babies have just lost their mother. And the person that did it is basically out there on the run. So here we go. I'm going to do a follow-up on this story too. So it's KP's Video News, y'all. KP's Video News.
KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all.
It's a wrap.
KP's Video News, y'all.
KP's Video News, y'all.